Whoa, hello. Well, hello. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, whenever you're listening. We are live right now on Facebook. Check. YouTube. Check. Twitch. Let me double check. Check. Okay, we're live. We're rolling. We had a little issues yesterday. Around minute 8, everything cut off, but I didn't know. The stream cut out, the recording stopped. We had little issues, not gonna lie to you. I talked into the camera for about 30 minutes. I thought I was recording the whole time. I don't know, it just stopped. They didn't tell me, it didn't give me a reason, I didn't have anything. I don't know what happened. So there was no podcast uploaded yesterday. So the last time we had a live show was last Thursday. It feels like forever. I missed you guys. I love doing this with you guys. We're growing. In order to keep this growing, I need you guys to hit that like button. I need you to comment. I need you to share. Hit that thumbs down. I don't even care. If you're on YouTube, there's a thumbs down button. Hit that. If you don't like it, hit it. If you don't like the show, let me know. Give me reasons why. All right. Okay. So listen. Today, we're going to talk about some good stuff. We're going to try to motivate you guys as if it was Monday. Monday motivation on Tuesday. How about that? Okay. Let's go through some sports news. Listen, the Olympics are going on right now, so I'm going to just give a medal count update every single day. We had Simone Biles return to the beam. She got bronze on the beam. Congrats to her. There's stuff about her situation that I want to talk about on a future episode coming up. Some wild things, some stuff that people aren't really talking about for some reason regarding her situation. It's like an updating story. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a future episode. Not today, maybe tomorrow. I wish I could give more in-depth updates on the Olympic sports because there's some amazing stories that are happening. But the way this time zone is in Japan and Tokyo, it's making it very hard because you go to sleep and you wake up and you're just over. There's just all the news at once, it feels like. I do know that United States lost to Canada. The women's soccer team lost to Canada for the first time in like 20 years or something. So that happened for bronze, or so they compete for bronze, and I think they won bronze already. But see, like, it's all happened overnight. I can't keep up. But we can keep up with the medal count. So China is starting to stretch in that lead out with the gold medal count with 32 gold medals. The United States has 24 gold medals. Japan has 19 gold medals. Here's where it starts to get a little interesting, is that when you go by total medals, United States have 73, which is more out of anybody. China has 69. And the next closest country with anywhere near as many medals is the Russian Olympic Committee, which is not really Russia, but it's Russia, with 52. So they're significantly far behind in that. And then the next behind them is like Great Britain, and then behind that is Australia. So the total medals is pretty far apart. I don't think anybody, the only country you can come close to catching up with America as far as total medals, I think, is China at this point. I don't really see that happening. I don't know how many events are left. We got till August 8th. So we got 4 more days. Sorry, 5 more days. I can't do math. It's 8:42 in the morning, August 3rd. Just the update on that. I don't want to downplay anything that Olympians do. I don't like this, and it's coming from the right of this, like the people, politically it's coming from the right. The people who want to wish failure on our athletes because they were anti this or anti that, and there's the go woke, go broke kind of thing, which there is some truth to it. However, I don't wish failure on athletes, especially in the Olympics, especially when they represent our country. I hope they all do well. The only one that I wish failure on was the man who competed in women's weightlifting. I know that's some controversy in what I just said. That is a man who I don't believe underwent surgery. We can Google it. Did New Zealand transgender get surgery? New Zealand transgender. It's from New Zealand. Yeah, Laurel Hubbard. Did Laurel Hubbard get surgery? We're just gonna confirm this because I don't believe she did. Okay, she did get the reassignment surgery. Okay, so correction, I amend what I said. Take it back. She did get her surgery in 2012, so she is a woman now. However, still transgender from man to woman, so it is not fair that she competed in the weightlifting. So that's the only athlete that I'm glad that failed. But however, the rest of the athletes, I don't wish failure on any of them. I just wish that the one that represents me, like the Americans or my favorite team, I just wish that they have success. So I don't appreciate the people, even if they're politically, I deal with the same thing. I don't really go on either side. I'm more libertarianism than I am right or left. So I feel like I can look at things unbiasedly. I don't like that there's people who wish failure on our athletes just because they disagree with what they say. That's the same thing as cancel culture. Okay? Shouldn't wish failure on your athletes that represent America. That's just no bueno. Today's going to be a great day, though. For you, for me, for anybody listening. If you're listening to this right now, that means you know what? You're probably an avid supporter, honestly, of this show, and I appreciate you. The only way I'm going to ask people to support right now is just by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, do things to tickle the algorithms on Facebook, YouTube, share with your friends. I believe that together we can create a good community. And in this community, I know that you're going to have a great day, not just because you listen to the show. However, if you do listen to the show, you're probably going to get inspired today. I am not any better than you. I'm not more special than you. I haven't accomplished anything more important than you. I just, I know that you are capable of great things. If you're listening to this right now, today is going to be a great day. This week is going to be a great week. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Today is going to be a good day. Because today is the next day. Today is the day you can control. Sometimes we overthink things. I'm speaking to myself right now. I overthink things all the time. I sometimes try to control things that are going to happen tomorrow. I sometimes really stress about the things upcoming, and it's really hard for me to focus on today, but I can control today. I can control today. You can control today. You can't control your outcomes of tomorrow. You can't change what you did yesterday, but you can control today. Today is going to be the best day yet for you, for me, for anybody listening. If you're watching live right now on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, go ahead and give us a shout out. Say hello. I want to welcome you into the show. But if you're listening on the Spotify or on the Anchor app or whatever you're listening on later on in MP3, today is going to be the best day yet for you. I believe that. We are believing that for each other because you can control today. There is no sense in worrying about tomorrow because you can't control tomorrow. But you can control today. You might be on your way to work right now. You might be on your way home from work right now. If you work night shifts, shout out to people who work night shifts. That's not easy. I know what that's like. I know for a fact I know what it's like working overnight and having to adjust your whole life. I thank you for whatever you do overnight. I'm sure it directly benefits me in society. Probably. You might work at packaging overnight, probably mail of some sort, maybe Amazon. Maybe you just work at a grocery store and you do the overnight stocking, like whatever. I don't know what it is. Maybe you do security. I don't know. However, I'm sure it benefits me in a way, or benefits society rather, not just me. And I appreciate you. But you're probably listening to this and you're thinking that today's going to suck, or yesterday sucked, or tomorrow is going to be rough. But today isn't going to suck. You know why? Because you're going to change your attitude. You're going to change your mindset. You're going to control today. You're going to seize today. Even if today you have to go to court and it's going to blow, you got to go through some boring training. You got to go to a job you hate. You can control the outcome of today by how you tackle it. I'm speaking this to myself too. Sometimes I dread doing things, especially when I was in the Marine Corps still, and there was days I just hated it. But I looked forward to the things that I liked and the things that I could control, whether it was like my attitude. You can control your attitude. You can't control the circumstances all the time. You can probably try to change or enhance the circumstances by, who you hang out with, maybe showing up on time. I don't know. Like sometimes people say you can't change your circumstances when in actuality you can. You can change the people you hang out with. You can change the task you choose to do. You can change the hobbies that you do. Speaking of hobbies, I have hobbies, a lot of hobbies. There's hobbies that I agree with. I have an aquarium hobby that got way out of control for a little bit. I had like 5 or 6 fish tanks in my house at one point, including I built a pond outside. I was like rescuing fish. I got out of control. And then there's some things that people tell me that are hobbies, which get me a little mad. But I just listen to them. They say that, maybe this podcast is just a hobby. Maybe when I was streaming video games and I was making money streaming video games, they told me that was a hobby. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. See, I can control my attitude. I can control how I react when people tell me certain things. But if you think that you're doing something that is going to lead to any amount of success, then you need to do it. Keep going after it. Right now, this podcast, it doesn't make me any money. I do it for free. I like doing it. I'm learning how to do it. I'm learning how to be a better host. So work with me as I become a better host. But I believe that it's going to turn into something. I don't know what it's going to look like. Maybe it's just helping people. Maybe it's just inspiring like 10 people a day. That's my goal, is just going to help inspire 10 people a day, bring positivity. Look, on this show, we're going to talk about a lot of things. And until we build up the live show audience, until we build up, having guests, that sort of thing, it's just going to be me monologuing. And it's just going to be me trying to inspire, attract viewers, that kind of thing, and learning how to do this better. So somebody might say this is a hobby. I don't think so. It doesn't necessarily feel like work, but I put a lot of effort into this. I've invested into this, not only time, but I have pretty decent equipment to be doing this. I'm not just on my phone. You know, I'm not just like on my phone recording and then posting and saying whatever. I'm putting actual effort into this as production. Look, I can show you my computer screen. Look, you can look. Here's a metal count. I think I forgot to switch to the screen. But look, I got like switchers. I got lights. I got 2 computers running this. And then I'm gonna edit this video on like software that I pay for. Look, I've invested into this. Maybe this podcast itself isn't gonna turn anything, but the attitude that I bring with it, just staying positive, working hard at something, the effort and the discipline to do this show may translate into something else. When I was streaming video games, I got to the point where I was starting to make some money. Not a lot of money. Like it was like maybe anywhere from like $100 to $300 a month, but it took a lot of time, took a lot of effort. However, the consistency I had in streaming video games, I was able, which was so humbling, I was able to not inspire, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like kind of uplift people sometimes. I would get DMs from, I've gotten more than one from more than one person, like a small handful, but to me it means a lot, where I got a message from someone who said, hey, you don't know this, but I was in the hospital recovering from surgery for 3 weeks, and every day I look forward to your stream, and I don't know, you just seemed like a cool guy, and I just enjoyed watching your stream, and it really like helped the time go by, and it was like funny sometimes. I didn't comment and I didn't like or anything, but I watched every single day, and that felt good to me, and that helped keep me going. I like had multiple of those accounts. But then one day I got a message from someone who knew me from my previous job in the Marine Corps, and he gave me a job offer. And so I'm saying all that to say is like, whatever you're working towards, keep going after it. You never know what's going to come of it. It might not be the same success. It might not be in the success that you think it's going to be. Maybe you are having your own podcast. Maybe you are having your own live show like I am. Maybe you are streaming video games. Maybe you're just training hard for a sport. Maybe you're working hard at a job. Maybe you're trying to start your own business. Success is going to come out of it if you're disciplined, you're motivated, you work hard. Did I mention discipline? It might not look like, the success might not look how you vision, but it might be better. You might get better opportunities. So just keep that in mind as you're going out today. Just whatever you're doing today, do it at 100%. Even if you're waiting tables. I waited tables for a very long time. I had some good opportunities actually come from just waiting tables, like at 100%. Not only did I make, you know, when you wait tables, it's a little different because the direct effort you put in could directly affect your income. But there was times I didn't want to go into my job, but if I went with a bad attitude, it would have been worse. You can go in with a positive mindset into something, and it can totally change the outcome of your day, the tasks that you're doing. Today will be the best day yet. You just got to tell yourself that. Best day yet. Fake it till you make it. I'm not going to lie to you. I do that all the time. In my workout today, I lifted this morning. Train for football, like I said, like I play football. We're off this. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Yesterday the recording canceled or broke or whatever, so there was no podcast yesterday. I forgot to give you guys like a little update. Those you guys do know that, or if you've been listening, or if you don't know, this is your first time listening. I play football for a college here in Southern California. I've been training for a very long time to do this. We got 2020 got canceled, so we had summer camp that started like 5 weeks ago. Summer camp just ended on Thursday, so we have this week off, and then we start fall camp next week with pads and everything leading into the season. They haven't told me to go home yet, so I think I'm having a little bit of success. So this week I will be lifting, like I'll be waking up earlier than I normally do because during football we would train, like we would have lifting, film, and practice all in the late afternoon. So the way I was doing the show was I would wake up when my wife woke up around 7, and then walk the dog and do some things, and then get ready for the show. However, I'm gonna be waking up at between 5:30 to 6:30 every day. I'm gonna be lifting and training before the show. And I think it might make the show better this week because I've already lifted, I've already trained, I've already like thought about some things, so I clear my mind. I'm less foggy, a little bit more smooth, have a little bit more, just a little bit more time to get ready for the show, like mentally. And I think as long as it doesn't crash and the recording actually records, I think we'll be solid. I think we'll be good to go. Where was I going with that? Anyways. Hey, if you're watching right now, say what's up in the chat. Let's get some conversations going. Tell me what you're up to today. I want to know what my viewers like. What if they're on the way to work today? If they're, I don't know. Maybe you haven't had a good week. Maybe it's only Tuesday and you're already dreading this week. Let's see how we can make each other. Let's see if we can uplift each other. I was just checking my phone because yesterday I was getting messages and comments on Facebook saying that it wasn't working, and yeah, it was a whole mess yesterday. But so far, so good. We're 20 minutes in. Trying to just be positive today. I just watched a thing, a short video. It was it came up on my finally catching the podcast for the first time. What up, Mr. Baymar Garcia? Welcome into the show. Appreciate you coming in. Hey, we got a first time live viewer. Let's go. Give it up for Baymar. Okay. I watched a clip today. I was literally right before I went live. I was going to the bathroom, waiting for the wife to leave so I could have the house like quiet and everything. And I saw a clip from Tucker Carlson show, and it actually made me think for a minute. It actually kind of made me realize something. He was talking about how the colleges were forcing people to wear masks, forcing people to get vaccinated, not wear masks. Forcing people to get vaccinated, and how it's no longer your choice anymore. There's like these pro-choice people who are coming against people to have a choice to get vaccinated. And I was like, that's a good point. Actually, he didn't say that. I came to that conclusion. And then, what's that dude's name? I'm trying to blank on his name. Him and his name is Kirk something, I think. But he always goes that he's not Ben Shapiro, but he does things like Ben Shapiro, where he goes to the college. If you're in the chat and you know who I'm talking about, just drop his name in the chat. The Twitch chat should be working, and I think the YouTube chat's working. I know the Facebook chat's working. I can see right here. If you know who I'm talking about, just drop his name. I'm not going to Google it right now. I'm just going to keep on the roll of talking. I think his name is Kurt something or other. Tall, white guy. I think his wife is actually African American. But he apparently is starting a, like, not a move. I don't know if it's a movement. What do you call it? Like a group? Because there's not any of these groups that defend people not getting the vaccine. And it really was eye-opening that there's not many people, or not many organizations, not many groups that are standing up for people to not get the vaccine. And here's how it started. So I go to college. There's a lot of young adults that go to college, even old adults that go to college. And apparently, it's becoming very widespread that colleges are mandating students, forcing students to get the vaccine before they can come onto campus. So they're either forcing them to not take classes, to take online classes, or have to be separated in some way, whether it's wearing masks, you have to take online classes, like I said, and get tested rigorously. So at my school, right, I'm keep getting emails saying that I have classes that required me to be vaccinated for me to attend. And my options are, they gave me two options. I can get tested daily. I can get tested daily while wearing a mask and be separated from the students that are vaccinated, or I can get vaccinated. The third option was, I said there's two options, actually three, was to drop the class and take a different course. Now, that doesn't seem very progressive to me. That doesn't seem very inclusive to me. It also doesn't seem very logical. I make it clear every day on the show that the problem I have isn't the fact that these mandates are happening, it's that they're not logical. So the reason why I left the Marine Corps, things just weren't logical. There was no logic. It was just a bunch of yes men saying yes sir and just moving on and just doing whatever they're told. The Single Dads podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is in the chat. We're live today, and I believe, make sure you check out the Single Dads podcast if you are a single dad and you just need some inspiration and guidance. Okay, moving on. There isn't any group standing up to the lack of logic that's happening. There's no logic to this because a lot of college students have already had COVID and they've already recovered from COVID. So there's more risk for them to get the vaccine than there was for like just getting COVID. It just happened. I saw the news, the headline yesterday. America finally reached this goal of having 70% vaccination rate. Okay, that's pretty high. And at this point, you would think that either everybody or most of the population in America has either had COVID or been vaccinated. So why are they still pushing this vaccination? I'm not sure. Forget the vaccine. There's a reason. Single Dad podcast. Forget the vaccine. There is a reason they have immunity. Be more clear on what you're trying to say. Are you saying there's a reason to get the vaccine to get immunity, or are you saying that the people saying that have immunity? So the problem with this is that it doesn't. Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. The vaccine isn't working. It isn't. And now they're saying, and there's a clip, I wish I had it queued up right now from CNN, where it literally said, it was talking about how like the vaccine's kind of working, but they're recommending now at 6 months you need the booster. You got to get the booster shot. And then the lady on the CNN literally said, oh, and it helps these companies financially too. Ha 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 ha. You can't sue the company. Single Dads podcast is clarifying. You can't sue the companies for anything that might go wrong with the vaccine. That's correct. You cannot sue the companies. And you know what's crazy? When you get the vaccine, like it literally says this vaccine or what you're about to take or whatever is not FDA approved. I have either talked to or listened to a lot of personal testimonies of people who got the vaccine. There is side effects. Okay. Side effects that most people are saying that they have, especially from the Moderna vaccine, is that they get joint pain and neck stiffness. It feels like, basically the way they describe it to me is that you're achy like you have a fever, except you don't have a fever. Personally, I'm not going to do that. I'm an athlete. I got to be able to perform. I can't perform with neck stiffness and joint pain. If you're between the ages of 18 and 30 and you don't have any underlying health conditions, there is no reason for you to get the vaccine. You will be fine from COVID. You might get sick for a couple weeks and that blows. Boo-hoo, get over it. We've all been sick. You can persevere, you can push through. But we do not have long-term data on the vaccine. That's just true. But you know why we don't have long-term data? People are going to argue with me about this. Because the vaccine was invented like 6 months ago. 8 months ago. Wow, it's already August. 8 months ago. Okay, we just don't have the data. It's just not there. there are doctors and nurses who have anonymously come out and said they were afraid to talk about their symptoms because they were worried about getting ostracized. They didn't all use those same words. I'm, paraphrasing them all together. There is something wrong. Science can't be science if there's people worried about the political fallout of it. This isn't science anymore. It's politics. It's social pressure. It's peer pressure. It's not science. There's no logic. Science has got to do what science does. Okay? Now, this politician, I'm drawing a blank on who it was. He got tested positive for COVID, and he's been pro-vaccine. He got vaccinated. He's an older gentleman, the white guy. Can't remember his name. If you know who I'm talking about, drop his name in the chat. I'm not going to Google it right now. I'm just going to keep going. He tested positive for COVID. I saw his quote today. He said, "I'm glad I got the vaccine because my COVID symptoms seem pretty mild." Well, it's pretty mild for most people. That's how COVID is. It's pretty mild for most people. Just because you got the vaccine, there isn't science that proves that getting the vaccine even reduces symptoms like they're claiming. The part of the claim is that you still might get COVID, but you won't get it as bad. That literally doesn't make any sense. COVID isn't that bad for most people anyways, unless you have, like I said, underlying health conditions or something along those lines. Last week, and it was confirmed twice, might have been 2 weeks ago at this point. It kind of depends on what you use a week. There was the 40% of the people hospitalized with COVID were vaccinated. So the symptoms seem pretty mild. Yeah, mild enough to go to the hospital. That doesn't seem like that's helping at all. Those are pretty high numbers. There was another report that said 80% of the people altogether around the world that are hospitalized with COVID are vaccinated. I can't confirm those numbers, so I'm not going to say that. But if somebody would like to Google that at this moment, feel free to. We got to remember that this virus has a survival rate of over 99%. And a high percentage of the people who died with COVID have comorbidity factors. That includes being obese, diabetic, cancer, some autoimmune disease. Okay, it's not healthy young adults that get this virus and have and die. Okay, it's not that dangerous, because people are saying, well, we had these precautions, we had this and that with the Spanish flu, and we did all this, we did all that. The Spanish flu killed tons of people. The mortality rate of the Spanish flu was significantly higher by a lot. I don't even remember the numbers off the top of my head. There's no point arguing it because it's true. I'm not going to even Google it because I don't need to. But I'm glad there's people like Kirk out there. I believe that I could be. I'm going to Google his name right now. What's his name? Kirk. I'm just going to Google Kirk and see who comes up. I'm going to type Kirk. I'm going to type images, and I don't see any of these dudes. Oh, man. His name might not be Kirk. Man, what's his name? Whatever. I know what he I know exactly what he looks like. I'm glad there's people like that guy his name may not be Kirk now, who are willing to start groups that are going to start defending people who aren't getting vaccinated, who are actually pushing against the look, it doesn't make sense to me that these people who are pro-choice, the same political side that's pro-choice, are pro-forcing people getting vaccinated. That's not pro-choice. That's not pro-choice. It's not. You're contradicting yourself. There's got to be a balance of choice and freedoms and letting people get educated. I still see people right now. I live in Orange County. There's no mask mandate, and even if there was, people wouldn't do it. Okay, I go to 24 Hour Fitness here in San Clemente. It's a nice gym. Nobody wears masks. Everybody's happy. People have always wiped down like equipment after themselves. There's no social distancing. There's none of that. But there is still every once in a while a person will be wearing a mask. I'm gonna say this two things about this. One, it doesn't make any sense to me. I think you're virtual signaling. If you're really worried about getting sick, then just stay home. Because I don't believe that you're worried about getting sick. I think that you're trying to virtual signal. It is what it is. Single Dad Podcast. I really like this. You really like this? Well, thank you. We'll share it with your friends. Tell people to get in here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever. The second thing I'm going to say about this is that I support that person for making that choice. That person decided they wanted to go out. Maybe they actually are scared of getting COVID. Maybe they are actually scared of getting other people sick, but they chose to wear a mask. That was their choice. I'm pro that. I'm not going to dog them for wearing a mask unless I think you're doing the virtual signal. Like if you are on Twitter, if you're on social media posting pictures with a mask as like your profile picture and there's no significant reason for you to, you're virtual signaling. It literally makes no sense. Your profile picture is supposed to portray who you are, so people, when they see you know, Baymar Garcia in the chat, I can see his face, and I know who that person is. I'm like, okay, that's his person. That female that's with them is probably a significant other, maybe his mom, maybe his sister, and that's a good-looking dude right there. You wearing a mask negates that, and it shows that you're virtual signaling and that you're on the side that you're on the right side, or you're on the left side, or you're on the correct side. I'm not down with that. It's lately I've been doing this thing where when I try to connect with someone, I'm like, hey, what's your Instagram? And you know, just because I'm trying to make friends, I'm trying to be nice, I'm trying to get like, I'm like whether it's on the football team or whatever. But then sometimes I come across people who have the mask on the profile picture, and immediately it's just like, it just like, it puts a bad taste in my mouth. And it really shouldn't, but it does. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I'm just an ignorant bigot. Maybe. But if I'm an ignorant bigot, then what are you? Because you're listening. And we're 37 minutes in. And if you're combing through this to try to find something to cancel me, I will copy and paste it, and I will also share it. If you find something to cancel me on, I will share it. If you I don't have a Twitter, so good luck with that. I've never been on Twitter. When I was funny story, side story. Like I said, I've streamed video games for about a year now, over a year. I've slowed down quite a bit because I think I'm getting shadow banned or something. But a couple months ago, I said something, somebody didn't like it, and I got tweeted by a very popular, I'll just say his name, I don't care, Jeff Leach. He was a voice actor of Ghost on Call of Duty, very popular. He has 30,000 followers on Twitter. I'm pretty sure at one point it was more, but he got banned. He got in trouble for something. I'm a savage. Look, okay. People are going to call me savage. To me, I'm not brave just because I say what I think online. There are people who are actually savage out there who will actually go in the face of somebody and do something. I'm just online. Call me keyboard warrior. Call me, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be savage. I'm just trying to be real. And this is what this show is going to be. At every topic, this is how it's going to be. Right now, we're talking about masks. Earlier, we were talking about today is going to be the best day yet, and I was trying to inspire and whatever. And now I'm just ranting about the lack of logic we have going on with dealing with COVID. COVID's over, okay? Listen, okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this quote-unquote Delta variant, okay? You know, listen, you get the flu vaccine every year. You might, I don't. But it's recommended you get the flu vaccine every year, okay? You know why that is? Part of it is because the flu slightly, not significantly, slightly mutates and the vaccine no longer works. Okay? So about every year, it's what they at least claim. I do know people get the flu vaccine and still get the flu. That vaccine, however, does work differently than the mRNA vaccines that are currently for COVID. The only one that's different is the Johnson & Johnson. The Johnson & Johnson one, I believe, uses like a dead virus, which is like with a more old school method. Okay. So they're like, oh, the Delta variant, it's caused by people not getting the vaccine. You know that it actually has happened from people who do get the vaccine, because if the vaccine works, that means COVID cannot spread to new hosts. So that means COVID cannot survive. Okay? If there was unvaccinated people, COVID could go to a new host. The virus can go to a new... Okay, so this is how a virus works. The virus wants to stay alive. How does the virus stay alive? The virus needs a host. If you've ever played the game Pandemic on your phone, you know how this works. So the goal of the virus is to stay alive. The goal of the virus isn't to kill you. However, the virus might kill you. Okay? The virus wants to stay alive. It's a living thing. Okay? So COVID wants to stay alive. What does it do? It finds a host. And it has to keep multiplying, right? So it's going to find a new host. If it can't find a new host because it can't like penetrate the body, it's got to mutate. So you think the virus is mutating because of people who are not vaccinated? That doesn't make any sense. The virus doesn't want you to get vaccinated. The virus wants you to stay unvaccinated so it doesn't have to mutate. However, let's take the flu or the cold, for example. So the cold and the flu mutate slightly every year. It's no shock. There are people who say that are way smarter than I am who actually went to college for a long time and like actually do studies and does stuff under a microscope. I don't even know how to use a microscope. That eventually humanity is going to come to the point where the flu vaccine doesn't work and everybody's going to get the flu because it mutates so much. And the flu might become this like super powerful, uncontrollable like sickness because we as humans are so worried about getting the flu, so worried about getting sick, which for good reason. The flu can actually be dangerous to like little humans, let's call them kids, and old humans, let's call them seniors. Okay? So back to the COVID thing. The COVID virus needs new hosts in order to survive. So it doesn't make sense to me when they say unvaccinated people are the reason that there's the Delta variant. Makes no sense. If anything, the vaccinated people are causing the variants. Because in order for the virus to stay alive, it's got to find new hosts. And if it can't go into a host that has a vaccine, if the vaccine works as much as they say it does, then it's got to mutate in order to get into that person, in order for it to thrive in that body who's vaccinated. So it makes zero sense to me that they're saying that. I don't know why nobody says this. Maybe it's because they'll get canceled. I'm about to get shadow banned on YouTube and Facebook, so follow me on Twitch. Because Twitch doesn't have an algorithm. I can say whatever I want pretty much on Twitch, as long as I don't say homophobic or transphobic things. Or use a racial slur, which I will never do on this podcast. It doesn't make sense to me that the people who aren't vaccinated cause the variant. Because if okay, let's say, okay, maybe, unless Coach Frank Ortega, COVID Delta is going to brew more entrepreneurs because people will quit their jobs and build their own stuff. Maybe. That's very true. Are you talking about people like staying home to quit their jobs and start their own businesses? That's very true. I think there is a positive that came out of COVID. The positive that came out of COVID is people realizing that they don't want to do what they want to do, or whatever job that they're doing right now isn't what they want to do. How does the camera look, by the way? Camera look? Okay. Making sure we're good. Good point. Good point to bring up. I do think the positive that came out of COVID is people are realizing that they can start their own businesses, that they can be their own boss. They don't have to go to work every single day. When you say build your own stuff, I'm assuming you mean like build your own business. Because their jobs are going to require vaccines or fire people. Yeah, my wife is currently looking for a new job that doesn't require people to get vaccines because her job requires people to get vaccinated. I'm not going to go into specifics. I'm not going to incriminate myself or talk about personal family health issues. However, yes, you are absolutely right. Jobs are going to require people to get vaccinated. Schools are going to probably get vaccinated. So I'm glad there's people like Kirk, back to him, that are going to stand up to the big groups, the big organizations to fight against people getting forced to be vaccinated. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. It doesn't make sense that there's not more people standing up. It's not just the freedoms, okay? Remember back in the Dizzy where you could choose to take a medicine if it was healthy for you? You weren't asked at a job interview if you've had the vaccine. You weren't asked by a college before you went to school that you paid for, by the way, if you could come to campus if you got this shot that they don't know anything about from a virus that isn't deadly, from a virus that just quite frankly isn't what we thought it was at the beginning. When the 2-week lockdown first happened back in March of 2020, I was for it. We didn't know anything. We thought that this might kill 50% of the people. We had no idea. And then as science came out, I realized, oh, it isn't what we thought it was. They're going to open everything back up. We're just going to move on. It's just going to be a sickness that we have for forever, probably. It was probably made in a lab, whatever. But nope. There's a certain political group that keeps pushing, keeps dragging this out. And it's benefiting them. I'm beginning skeptical that, look, okay, let's just put this out there. And I don't know why nobody talks about this, but look this up. You can Google this. People in Hong Kong were protesting every single day for their freedoms. They didn't have the First Amendment. They were literally shooting bow and arrows at the riot police. They were rioting in the streets. Then all of a sudden, this virus that started in China, by the way, started in the same country that this is happening in. A virus forced everybody to be locked down, and they couldn't leave their homes. They literally had to be locked down in their house. Now, China started to open back up. They started to fight for their freedoms again. Now what happens? The Delta variant. Nobody's allowed to spectate the Olympics. However, they are allowed to fly people from all over the world to the same hub. There's about to be 500 plus people at Barack Obama's birthday. Confirmed, despite COVID scares. It's not about COVID anymore. It's about getting what they want. It's not controlling what they want. I don't know the ends and the means. I couldn't tell you why, but I can tell you that there's been a lot of money being made, a lot of money being pushed around, a lot of bills being pushed around, a lot of laws being put in place because of COVID. And they're dragging it out. They really are. The Democrats are dragging this out. They are. It's a fact. Whether you are a Democrat or not, you have to agree that the Democratic Party, the leaders in the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi, let's say Gavin Newsom, let's just say Barack Obama, President Biden, Kamala Harris, the House, they're dragging this out. They really are. We have the flu every single year, and it kills how many people a year does a flu kill? How many people a year does the flu kill? We're Googling it or Binging it. Okay, let's look at these numbers. Oh my gosh, these are just talking about. Okay, pulling it up. 40,000. Okay, let's go from, this is going to be 2012, 2013, 2013, 2014, 2014, 2015, 2015, 2016. Okay, you see these numbers right here? 43,000, 38,000, 51,000, 23,000, 38,000, 61,000, 34,000. Those are people every year who die from the flu. Just in America. We don't shut down everything for that. That's a lot of people that die from the influenza every year. And then I believe something on the lines of 400,000 people a year are hospitalized with the flu. That's a pretty significant number. How many people have been hospitalized with COVID in America? I don't know. Probably over 1 million by now. But you see my point. Okay, I'm tapping off the soapbox. I gotta go. I gotta go do some football stuff. But hey, just remember what we started off this podcast with. Today is gonna be your best day yet. You are an amazing person. You can and will accomplish your goals today. Whether you're building your empire today, whether you're maybe you're proposing. I had a buddy of mine propose last weekend. Congrats. My buddy proposed. They're engaged now. Maybe you're on to a job you hate. Maybe you're on the way to the gym and trying to hit your workout goals. Whatever. You are going to accomplish your goals today. Today's going to be a good day. Remember, you can control your attitude and you can manipulate your circumstances. I don't like it when people say you can't control your circumstances, because sometimes you can. It's not always set in stone. You can control your circumstances, change who you hang out with, change who you talk to, change your attitude and the way you handle something, and you might change your circumstances. I had a leader in the Marine Corps say, if you don't like where you are, and this is talking specifically in the Marine Corps, if you don't like where you are, quit or get promoted. That's my advice to you. Quit or get promoted. All right, guys. That's all I got for you today. Listen to this. Oh, my headset playing. Let me get it playing. Let me get it playing for you guys. Listen. If you like this music, if you like Creek Brian Brother, I will. Coach Frank Ortega. Hey, if you guys need divorce coaching, check out Coach Frank Ortega. If you're going through a divorce, whether you're going through a hard time, or maybe you're coming out of an abusive relationship, or any relationship advice after a breakup, check out Coach Frank Ortega on YouTube. Okay? Listen, if you like this music, if you like the vibe, if you like, maybe you want to use it for a video, maybe you want to use it for your live stream or your live show or your live whatever, maybe you just want to work to it, check out Streamables on Spotify. It is on YouTube Music, however, I don't have the link for that. But check out Streamables. It's made by a buddy of mine. There's like 3 albums. He's coming out with another album. He is literally working with producers to make music that's copyright free. DMCA or whatever, all those letters, free. That's right, FREE. Use it for whatever videos, use it for live content, whatever. Baymar, thanks for the comment, brother. You have a great day. Okay, check out Streamables on Spotify. All right, guys. Until next time, have a good day. Have a great week. Today is gonna be your best day yet. Deuces, hook 'em.